Hello everyone, and welcome to this exciting live stream. I hope you are all doing well today. And just feel free to drop a quick hello in the chat and let us know where you are tuning in from. So, we have got something fantastic to share with you today that will significantly boost your Flutter development speed. Whether you are an experienced developer or just starting with Flutter, you are in for this. But that's not all. Like, we have a special guest joining us today, none other than Rahul Patel, Director of Engineering from DhiWise. Rahul, it's pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you so much, and I'm thankful to all of you to that you have been joining on the air of Christmas, and it means a lot. So I'm Rahul Patel, as Kamlesh has already mentioned, and I work as a director of engineering at Device, where I majorly focus on design to code feature and. We have been building a plugin for IDEs that is called WiseGPT, will that you will shortly know what it is about in the session.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul. And yeah, all right, without further ado, let's go to the next slide and let's explore what we have there. So basically, we are having a Q&A session where we will get to know about the products Device is offering for developers and how these tools can make our lives easier. And for our viewers, don't forget to engage in the chat throughout the live stream. Share your thoughts, questions, and experiences. We will be looking at your questions during the live stream. So don't worry, guys. Yeah, so let's move to the another slide. So here we have the quick reminder, guys, like just join our WhatsApp community, which is like having a lot of members. We have a lot of groups inside where you can hang around with fellow Flutter developers. You can ask questions. You can check the job opportunities. You can see what's going on in the world of Flutter. We are also sharing this link in the chat. You can check this out from the chat as well. You can even scan the QR code which is right from the screen. So yeah, let's move to the next slide. And yeah, we have also created WhatsApp channel. You guys can also join this just by scanning the QR code, or maybe just clicking the link in the chat. This is also like where we post updates about the Flutter, what's going on, and also like our content will be also like planned for the WhatsApp channel. So you guys can also follow us on this WhatsApp channel. So yeah, let's move to the next slide. So yeah, let's start with the questions. Like first of all, let's know from Rahul, like what is the Wise and what the Wise is offering for the developers.
Yeah, so DhiWise is a pro code platform that helps Flutter developers to build their applications quickly by helping them to automate the mundane and repetitive tasks. By mundane and repetitive, I mean writing the UI layout code, managing the assets, localization that comes with every app, and you don't want to write buttons or text fields code every time you build or develop a new app. So that by taking care of these repetitive and mundane tasks, the developers can focus on what actually matters, the things like that can give or that can release dopamine, the things like writing complex algorithms, optimizing their business logic, scaling the app, and improving the performance of the application.
All right, that's great. That's we know about the Wise, what the Wise is offering for the developers. Now let's move to the next question. Yeah, the next question we have: what tools is the Wise offering for Flutter developers to make their lives easier? So yeah, this is going to be the best one, I guess.
I guess I have to share my screen for that, so that I can
Mhm.
walk everyone what device is offering, and we can deep dive into details of it.
All right, so you can share your screen
So
in the
let me
meantime.
share my screen. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes.
Perfect then. So here, this is the dashboard of the application, wherein you can create new app. you can select the technologies. So as I am in the mobile app section, I will be shown Flutter, Android, and iOS. But we'll focus on Flutter as of now. I can select the design platform from where you want to import your design. Again, I will select the Figma. To do so, I will copy a link of a design for an e-commerce app, and I will submit to it. So once I do that, it will fetch all of your design from the Figma file, and it will show you here. So you can select the number of screens that you want to, generate the code of. But here I want the complete app, so I will select, all the screens. Meanwhile, it fetches, or this is the most crucial part of our product, wherein we fetch the file, we download the images and icons, we identify what components, or if we speak about in Flutter, then what widgets the screens are made up of. We are extracting the colors, then the fonts and everything, and we are putting it into a proper widget tree. And I guess it will take around a couple of minutes, but I think that it's worth to wait for a couple of minutes, because eventually you will get the whole source code of all of your around 30 screens that are there in the application. But here I would like to talk about more on the code quality. So DhiWise generates the code that is more readable than the other machine generated parts. It is more modular. It's easy to, it's component driven, so you would be easily able to add few features as well, and tada, your app has been created. So on the first section, it shows that these are the components that device has auto identified from your design, and it goes from simple button to the views, like complex views like grid, tab, page indicator, and whatnot. This is the section where it shows that these are the reusable component that device has created. So it just looks throughout your application. If you have more than one button, and you have different kind of styling of it, it will create a custom reusable button, so that you can reuse it further as well, and it makes your code more readable and reusable. And here are a few of the actions that device has auto-identified from your design, like navigation. The file that I have submitted has prototyping done inside it. So there are 35 navigations that has been already in there. Then we have a login screen wherein we have Facebook and authentication. So device has intelligently identified that, hey, there should be an authentication code as well. So we have that part of that. And once you have opened the screen, you have to set up a back navigation as well. So that has also been there. Now let's jump into it. So the second thing it asks you is, what screen or which screen you want to open once your splash screen is loaded to the user. So I will select a login screen and I can submit it. So yeah, this is the section where we call it as a smart editor, which will give you a feel like you are in an IDE. And this is the code of your login screen. And on the right hand side, we have a live renderer of the Flutter. So whatever changes that you make here will be reflected here in real time. So let's say there is a mistake and I want my margin to be more, than, as you can see, the button has shifted a bit down. Here you can manage the styling as well. Device gives you a facility to have multi-theme application as well. So you just need to add, a secondary theme and manage the color that you want to show for, Amber 50, and it will work in that manner. Here you can manage your funds, you can upload new funds and TTF files, the complete assets of your application from the Figma design, and all the strings that has been there in your Figma file. You can update it, or you can add a new string as well. Let's see, let's update a login buttons text to from sign in to login, let's say. And if you go back here, it will be reflected here. This is a Flutter's renderer wherein you can check your the accuracy of how device has converted with respect to your Figma file. So this is a plain Figma image of your design, and this is how it looks in the devices generated code. Here it also helps you to see how the app will look like in different devices, so you can get an idea of it. With this, device provides many features inside it. So let me show it that as well. So in login screen, we obviously have to set up an API call. So I will just write on click, and it will suggest me that as well. And these are the features that we are providing. This time, let's see how API integration is done in device. So I will select API integration. It will ask you for a name. It asks you so that your code will be more readable, and I will write it as a call sign in. So it will create a function name with the same that you have added here. Once I do that, it will show me the endpoints. For that, you have to upload a Postman collection in the section here, API integration. Once you do that, all the endpoints will be shown to the list where you are integrating the API. So I will select the respective API for logging. Here it will show you the headers, the body. In body, you have username and password. So it will give you multiple options from where you want to pick these values. So this time I want to pick it from your email. So whatever the user enters in email will be mapped with the username field, and with that it will provide the validation as well of the email. And same goes with password. I want to pick it from the password text field. Once I'm done, I bind my text field controllers with the respective uh, parameters of the API. Then this is how you can handle the response as well. So in the response, it shows me that hey, you have a token, and I need to save it to my local device so that I can use it in the subsequent APIs. So I will give it a key name called token, and that's how it will be stored in the preferences. Now, if you want to show any data to the view as well, that is also available. So you just need to select the respective key and the view. Let's say I want to show name in here, and done. The response that you will receive and the value that you will receive in the name will be showed into this label. Once you have handled the response data, now you can set up the on success and on error, where you will get a couple of options, like integrating a subsequent API or showing an alert. But in this case, once user logs in, I have to navigate user to the dashboard, so I will select the navigation. In navigation, again, you will see many options, but here we want to have a screen navigation, so I will select a screen, and I will select dashboard. It will ask you if you want to clear your stack screen stack, so you can choose the option respectively. But here I want to clean out the complete stack before dashboard, so I will select clean or close all screen. And if you want to pass any arguments to the dashboard, then you can as well. And this is how I can handle the on error. If there's an error in authentication, I just want to show a toast, and that too from the whatever the server responds me with. So I will select it set from response, and I will select the message key, wherein it will show that hey, your password is incorrect, or your email doesn't exist with us. So with doing that, I'm done integrating the API, and I will select the save changes. And that's how quickly you can integrate an API from inside the device. Now another feature, so we in this we covered a couple of features called API integration and the navigation itself. Another one I would like to show you is the runtime permission, wherein you can set up with a click only. So let's assume that this is a profile screen where I wanted my user to, just pick their profile pictures from either camera or gallery. So I will click on that. I will go to here on the smart editor. I will select on click, and it will show me a permissions option. Here, as you can see, we have many of them, but as the use case is there, I will select camera plus gallery. By just doing this, uh, device will generate a source code wherein it will ask for runtime permission. If user allows, it will show whether the user wants to pick it from camera or gallery, and it will give you a callback as well with the image path. And then you will be free to use it in a manner, if you want to upload it to your server, or if you just wanted to show it here on the image view. With that, there will be some cases wherein you have to manage data, that when a screen opens, you just need to show some data directly without user doing any action. So for that, we allow our users to set up a action from the on ready. So this will be executed once your widget is ready and rendered. So here you can set up a couple of actions called API integration and navigation. I won't be getting into it because it's the same what we saw before. And yeah, here you will be able to see all the actions that has been done here. Here, these are the auto-identified actions that has been generated by device. You can find the shortcuts like undo, revert, change, if you want to collapse the code as well. And if we go back to the login screen, and yeah, so these were the features, Kamlesh, that I was explaining. I was meant to be explaining about the device, and we can cover the
Mhm.
other part in the subsequent question if there are any.
Wow, that's really great. Now we don't have to code so much for our applications. That's really great. And it will be like really helpful for a lot of Flutter developers as well. Yeah, so now let's move to the next question. Uh, yeah, so here we got really interesting question like how is the Wise different from any other tool in this space? I guess there are a lot of tools, so that's a really good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it will be difficult to answer as well. Uh, I'm just kidding. So, how device is different from the other tools is there are two things that a developer seek while using a design to code platform. The first thing is, the generated result should be identical to what the design is made of, right? It should look identical to the design itself. And the second thing is how, what are the widgets that has been used while building the code of that design. That really matters for the developer. So device is different in a way that as we saw in the demo, that it creates the identical UI of your design, but at the same point of time it also generates a code that is relevant to the technology. So let's say if there's a text field in your code, it will generate a code for, sorry, if there's a text field in your design, it will generate the code for text field in the Flutter application. If it's a grid view, then it will create a grid view. If it's a staggered, then it will create a staggered grid view as well. If it's tab, so I can go on. We are supporting like 50 plus components, but this is how we differ, because we know that if a developer try to generate the code from design, it has to be it has to be usable, because uh, we are a pro code tool. We are not a no code or low code wherein they just build the app and they will be good to upload it on App Store or Play Store. But we as we are a pro code platform, our users are the developers. So once they download the source code, if it's not button or if it's not text field, they are not going to use it, right? Because eventually they have to rewrite everything, though the design is identical. Yeah, and with that, machine generated code, users always felt that it won't be readable. but I will show you in the later on once I build the source code how readable the code is.
Okay, okay, yeah, that will be like really great to see from the audience as well. So yeah, yeah, we can now move to the, I guess, to the next question, and let's see what we have there. Yeah, this is again the really good question: is the device generated code responsive or not?
Yeah, you will get responsive code out of the box. Let me share my screen so that I can show you how it's responsive and how you can check it on the device platform as well. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. So here, this is a live renderer, and it will show how exactly how your app will look like when you download the source code, build the file, and run it on the device. So this comes responsiveness comes out of the box. So here, as you can see, it's 13 Pro Max, and if we go to the smallest device, like iPhone Mini, so this is the responsive design that you will get without doing anything. And we have prepared, we have a size util class that eventually does this. So yeah, the answer is you will get it by default. You don't need to do anything to make it responsive.
All right, so yeah, now we know like the code generated is responsive. Mhm. All right, yeah. So now I guess we can move to the next question. So the next question is, what state management libraries are supported by device?
Mhm. So there are many. I don't exactly remember. Let me share my screen so I can show you that as well. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. So once you are ready with whatever features that you have used, like setting up permissions, navigation, and integrating APIs, you can click on Build App, and it will ask you to which state management you want to build your code with. So let's say if you want to build with Block, GetX, Provider, and Riverpod. So your answer is we support Block, GetX, Provider, and Riverpod. But let's say if you are using any other state management library and you don't want the code of any of these, you can use without state management. So it will generate a flat UI code wherein you will get these basic features that you have implemented here. And that will help you to easily merge device generated code into your application.
Yeah, so you are already having most famous state management tools integrated. So yeah, that's really great. Now we can move to the next question. The next question is, does the design, for example, Figma, Sketch, and other tools, need to be in specific order to achieve the best results?
Uh, yeah, to answer that, there are few guidelines that a designer should follow. It's just like, and those are very basic guidelines. And I can connect it with things like, if as a developer, we write code, right? But there are also developers that write quality code. So it's similar to the analogy. We also have few things that I would like to show to the users as well. We have our documentation around the design guidelines, like uh, how you can create the frames, how you can group the components, and let's say if you want to build a text field. So it's pretty simple. You don't need to put much of your time, or in other way, we haven't reinvented the wheel. So on top of Figma, we have few guidelines onto it. With that, we have a feature of tagging as well. So let's say if your design is having a app bar, and you have created a group of it, you can tag it with app bar in this fashion that has been showed uh, in the documentation. With this, we also have our UI kit, wherein all the components have been created, so that it will help you to design your app quickly in Figma as well. It will assist you there as well. So let's have a take let's have a look onto it. So we have, the app bars that are following design guidelines, device design guidelines. We have form elements, we have search view, and there are many things that you can take it directly from here, and you can create the UI of your application. So all of these are component based. So it will be a lot easier for your designers to use these, and you will get a better accuracy in device as well.
All right, that's great. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question we have is, can device be integrated with existing code bases or projects?
It won't be directly, integrated, but there are ways that can be, used to integrate your existing project. So let me share my screen again. There are few options that you can use. So as I mentioned here, right, that if your source code's architecture is different than what device is providing, then you can just take the UI code, and then you can set up the architecture as per your needs. The another option is, you can only, if you want to export only login screen, you can do that as well. You just don't need to build the complete app and take the source code out of it. If I want to built on the login screen, I just can, with and without state management. So these are the two options that you can use, so that you can integrate the device generated code into your existing code base. With there's also a third option, and we call it as WiseGPT, but we can cover it in the subsequent section or later down the call.
All right. That's really cool. Now let's move to the another question. Yeah, the last question we have in our slides is, do you have any specific structure for pricing for these tools? Like, do you have any tier, any plans for these tools?
uh, I've it's free right now, so it's a gift, Christmas gift to all of you. We don't charge for anything as of now, but we have a plan
Mhm.
of rolling out subscription soon, and that will be rolled out, I guess, in the end of first quarter of 2024. However, because device has community has helped device a lot, right? So we will be having a free forever plan for our community as well. So yeah, that's the plan.
Wow, wow, that's really cool. Like, developers will be like really happy to know that you will be having the free tier. I mean, the free plan for the community members. That's really cool. So yeah, now I guess we can move to the next slide. Yeah, so now we talked about a lot of questions, but Rahul, I just want to know, or maybe developers also want to know, like, do you have some other tools as well? For example, right now you have showed us this design to code tool, but do you have some other tools as well?
Yeah, we have WiseGPT as well, but I would like to show the source code that device is generating, so that what I was mentioning
Yeah.
prior, that our code is readable, the qualities of the code that we have. I would like to show that as well before we jump into the other part of it, WiseGPT.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let me share my screen so that it's visible to you. So I will build the
Yes,
source code
yes, the
with
screen is.
log as a state management. And again, this will hardly take, okay, this will hardly take like 30 seconds to build the complete source code.
All right. In the meantime, guys, you can ask questions about design to code or the tools that Rahul is showing us. You can maybe ask your questions. We'll be taking questions at the end.
Yeah. So is the code visible to you guys?
Yes, the code is visible, Rahul.
Perfect, perfect. So as you can see, we have a lib folder that's a basic structure of Flutter. Here, what I was referring to is the reusable component. So as you can see, this is a custom text form field, and in the generated code as well. So everything related to uh, The text form field will be managed here, the variants and etc. This is a custom bottom bar. Again, if you see that we have used a Flutter's widget to build it, we are not building our custom wrappers onto it. So you as a developer, you don't need to have a learning curve of what custom components of device will be. The second thing is I would like to highlight is there won't be any dependencies on device directly or indirectly. Once you build the code, once you download it, you will be complete. You will have a complete ownership of the code itself, and you will be able to do whatever with your code that will be possible. And all the libraries or packages that we use are accepted by the community and built by the community. So there will be no dependency on device as well on the packages. Then we have theme helper, which manages your multi-theme app. Then there's a decoration. If we see routes, then all the routes will be listed here. You will get a out of the box localization code as well. You just need to add another language and data of it, and you will be good to go. Then we have a presentation layer wherein let's see how a device has generated the login screen code. So this is the login screen. Here, as you can see, that everything has been sectionized, so it will be a modular code. And as you can see, how readable the code is. This is the function that builds the email text field control text field. So this is the build email function. Here you will also get the hint. You will also get the validation as well. And if you see the password, it goes for build password and it will go on. And here, as you can see that, device has reused the button component here to show the login and, the sign in as well. So this is how the code is modular, readable, reusable. And here you will get out of the box things like, date time utils, image constants, where all of your image assets path will be managed, navigation service from where, all the navigations will be managed, permission manager, there will be a pref util, dialog util, etc. Yeah, Kamlesh, over to you. So these were the qualities that I wanted to show about of the code that device is generating.
Mhm. Yeah, I have seen that, and it's really great. Like, I have used some other tools as well, but they sometimes have their own libraries and just show some unreadable code. And I have seen like the code is really great, like even it is readable for the developers very easily. So that's really great about it. And yeah, now we were talking about other tools as well. So can you let us know if you are maybe working on some other tools? You mentioned WiseGPT, so I want to know more about WiseGPT. Like, how can I get access to WiseGPT, and like how it is like different from the most famous Chat GPT?
Yeah, so WiseGPT, it's a plugin for IDEs like VS Code, IntelliJ, Android Studio, and currently it's in closed beta stage. So you have to sign up, and you will be in the wait list as of now. But yeah, that's the case for the access. Then how it is different from ChatGPT. But before answering that question, let me give you few of the characteristics of WiseGPT, so you will start to build idea of what it can be. So it's a plugin wherein you don't need to write any prompt, or you don't need to provide any context. So in chat gpt you need to write your own prompt, and you need to pass your own context, which we believe that a developer is a good developer, but prompt engineering is something different from the developer's role. So we cannot expect every developer to be a prompt engineer and write a an accurate prompt and provide accurate context so that the results that can be generated will be accurate. the things that I mentioned, everything will be done by WiseGPT. So you don't need to write anything, you don't need to provide anything, you don't need to think about the token limit. Everything will be handled by WiseGPT. So how it functions, let me give you a glimpse of that. It will be on in your IDE. So device will access and analyze your source code once you allow it. Without your permission, it won't. So once you allow it, it will analyze your source code, and everything, the analysis that will happen in your local system. So device is not taking your code and uploading it to devices server and doing analysis there, but it happens right directly on your system. So your code will be secure there. Once analysis has been done, it will identify the things that will be required to generate the upcoming source code. For an example, how your application's architecture is it MVC, MVP, or MVVM? How you have named your files, or the functions, or the variables? What are the custom flows that you have inside your application? So currently in WiseGPT, we have a feature called API integration. So what does it do? It analyzes your custom flow of integrating an API from UI to, if you have built an API client, or if you have a service file, or if you have written down directly in the UI code itself. So it will analyze all of those things, and using those chunks of information gathered from your codes analysis, it will try to generate the similar code of what you have in your repository. And I can give a short demo as well, if that's fine.
Yeah, sure, Rahul. That will be great for the audience.
Okay, perfect. So give me a second. Let me open up. Yep, I am sharing the screen now. Is it visible?
Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. So here, if we see that this is a sign up screen wherein I have already integrated an API for sign up. And if we look how it is implemented, so we have an API client file, we have a repository as well, wherein the function will be built. And here we have used dio, and this is how the code looks of my API integration done uh, manually. So I've written this code, or you may have generated it from device as well. Now what I want to do is I want to integrate another API in the sign in screen. So as we can see, there's no API called, or let me go to the sign in button. Yeah, it's right here. So as you can see here, the navigation code has been done. Now I want to integrate an API, login API in this screen. So what I will do is I will open the sign in screen. I will go to my extension called WiseGPT, and I will select the feature called API integration. So once I've selected it, it will ask you to, for the endpoints, there are many ways you can do that. Either you can upload the curl, you can upload a Postman file, or you can keep the Postman file inside your applications folder. So it will pick it from there. In this case, I've kept it inside the source code, so it's showing me in here. So now I wanted to integrate the login API. So I will select it, and I will click on proceed. So this is what you have to do as a user. You just need to select the endpoint, and yeah, we have the code now. So as you can see, it has updated, or it has newly created the files that are really required for this API to be successful. So it has created a login model as well. It has updated the API client file which I showed you priorly, and let's see the new code that is there. So this is the older function that we had, and this is the new function that it generated. So it's almost identical to what you have written in there. And this is a diff view, wherein if you want to certain amount of code, then you can easily merge and resolve the conflicts as well. So I will accept the source code, as I know that this is the perfect code that is generated. I will select this. I will select this as well. But there is also an option. You don't need to go and do single accept. There's an option to accept all the code or discard all the code if you don't like it. I will accept the code, and yeah. So if we go back in the sign in screen, now we will be having a function. So yeah, the form is validated, and your API will be executed. And if we see its classes, then you know, sorry, I'm opening the wrong file. Yeah, we have a login event where it executes the login API. We have an event as well, and we manage the state as well. So what it did is it not only it generated the source code, but it also updated those files. So I guess many of the viewers would have got the answer that how WiseGPT is different from the traditional Chat GPT, because you will get it everything inside your IDE. You don't need to write any prompt. You don't need to pass on any context, and you will get everything just like you have pulled a code from your Git repository.
Yes, yes. I guess this Wise GPT is really wise to help Flutter developers, and they will be like writing really good applications in the future. So yeah, that's a pretty really good tool that developers can utilize. So before jumping into the questions, we will be looking at the questions of the audience. But before that, do you have anything more to show our audience, or do you want to maybe introduce to some other tools, or I don't know if there is something left that you want to introduce to the audience.
Yeah, so I would like to take this moment to just share our roadmap of what we will be building in upcoming year, and what will be the features that you will be getting in WiseGPT itself. So this was just a feature called API integration, but we will be having design to code feature in WiseGPT itself. So in design as well, you will get personalized code of what you have in your repository. So for an example, if you already have a custom button in your in your repository, and if you are using WiseGPT to generate a new screen, it will reuse that custom button to build the new screen as well. So that way it will be more personalized to you as well. Then there will be features for integrating third party libraries and SDKs. Then there will be features wherein if you are changing anything, right, and if that function or file or variable, it is dependent to any of the file or function in your repository, it will intelligently tell you that, hey, before changing this, you must see that this is the file that is if you make a change right here, these many things will be impacted. So as a developer, you will priorly know of the impacts of the changes that you have been making. And there will be few exciting features as well.
All right, that's great. That's great. Now let's, I guess, move to the Q&A session where we'll be looking at the questions from the audience. So yeah, let me share my screen, and in the meantime, you guys can see the questions. Rahul, you can also see the questions in the chat. So yeah, can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, it's visible.
Um, all right. So let me see the questions. All right. Yeah, there is one interesting questions from Hamad Khan. He wants to know about the device, like what primary mission and the vision is DhiWise looking for? I mean, what is the mission and the vision DhiWise is having? So this is also a really good question.
Uh, Hi, Ahmad. Thank you for asking this really good question. So, what device vision is? It's to empower the developers, to increase their productivity. And we ourselves, we call us as a pro code tool, which helps developers. So, if you want to use device or WiseGPT, you have to be a developer. A layman or a product manager or a product manager won't be able to use it. So our vision is just to empower developers to increase their productivity and
Oh,
nothing
that's
more than
really
that.
great, I guess. Yeah, yeah, that's really great. There is another question from Suraj, who is asking like, how does animation will work in this? Does only inbuilt animation will work, or device offers complex animations too?
uh, I'm sorry, Suraj, because we don't support any of the animations in device. But yeah, once you have the source code, you will be able to modify it and add those animations as per your UI and UX of the application.
Yeah, so developers having the complete ownership or the complete power to have to add the animations. That's really great. And also, like one person is asking about the price, which we have already mentioned. Yeah, it is like completely free for the community, and you guys can use it. Uh, I guess, is there any other question that you can see, Rahul, that we can take?
Yeah,
The
there's
Kishan Singh is asking. I
one that Muhammad had shared. It's on
Mhm.
below that. Do we have an option to tell device to use specific architecture or a state management system? So, to answer that, Mohammed, currently in device.com, which is a SaaS-based platform, uh, you can only use the code that device is generating, and you won't have any option to specify what kind of architecture you want. But yeah, you can specify the state management that you need, and we have blog. We are supporting blog, Riverpod, provider, and GetX. You can pick any of them to build the source code with. But with WiseGPT, the architecture will also be feasible in there, because it will analyze the source code, it will analyze what kind of architecture that you have, and it will generate the source code in the same architecture as well.
All right, yeah, that's great. And Kishan Singh is saying, I joined late. Looks something interesting. Yeah, you can maybe later on check the complete live stream. It is really good introduction about, and really good to know about the tool that device is working on. I would recommend you guys to, who has joined late. I would recommend you to maybe check this later and check what device is offering for you guys. And yeah, once again, like guys, just try to see what device is building for you guys. This is like really exciting. Just check the design to code tool. Also, this wise gpt, try to get the access and see and play around with it, how cool it is to have inside your IDs. And yeah, I guess we come to the end of the live stream. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining these kind of live stream. We are also coming up these topic based live streams, so with the guest itself, where we will answer your questions. So we will introduce you to the some products, and which will help you maybe throughout your development journey. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.